So funny.
It's that time to get it in with Joel Radio, the live show with your host, the sexy voice of reason, Nyomi Banxxx, the man that knows all, Alexander Devoe, and the man of the streets, Dog Pound MikeMike.
All right. Hey, sexy people, it's your girl, Nyomi Banxxx, here on Chocolate Radio, the live show. Here on ChocolateRadioLiveShow.com and RIP Radio Network. I miss you guys. We wasn't here last week because I was a little ill. Yeah, I had been traveling last week, the week before last, the weekend before, and I had kind of like a turnaround, type of thing, and my body was drained, like totally drained. So I couldn't walk my ass nowhere to do anything. But tonight we have, introducing her she's a part of us. She's a part of Chocolate Radio all day, every day. We have the sexy Miss LaFemme Tish Marie in the house. What's going on, baby?
Whoa. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy we're on. I'm ready to get kinky as usual.
You ready to get kinky?
Yes.
You ready to get ready?
I'm ready. I've been ready.
You've been ready?
I've been ready, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, you guys see the man that knows all. He is not in the house just yet, but he will be pulling up soon. And then, my boy, Dog Pound MikeMike, you want that we hear but never sees? He is back there, and you won't be hearing his ass tonight as well. But what I want to do, first, what I want to do before we even start anything is I truly want to thank you all for supporting us throughout all of these years, from the Time On series to, when we had our own station over there in Valencia to right here, right now. I just want to thank you guys because you guys continue to support us through it all. And I'm saying this because I need you guys to support just a little bit more because we're trying to get the technical difficulties together with the sound and things of that sort. But we're going to get it together before it's all done and over with.
Right. Yes.
All right. So our topic for today, I don't know if you guys been watching, from the Instagram and the Twitter posts and all that other stuff, is that we're talking about temptations today. About temptation.
Do it.
Right. And the thing is that when you hear that word temptation, people always seem to think that it is a bad thing.
Well, it's bad, but it's juicy bad.
Well, but does it always have to be bad?
No, it don't have to be bad, but the temptation is usually something that you shouldn't be doing.
Well, I don't know about that. So just say this, and I want to thank my baby, Lola Bastinito, for this one. It's like when you say, like I was tempted to sit on his face. Is that a bad thing?
No, but if you're tempted to sit on his face, why don't you just do it?
But I'm just saying, we're just being, the temptation and you see what I'm saying?
I do.
And why I say that is because I'm gonna put the meaning up. I'm gonna say the meaning in a minute. For Tuesdays, for me, I always do a Temptation Tuesday.
Okay.
Either I have like a little boob. I don't do the Titty Tuesday thing. I do the Temptation Tuesday because I'm trying to tempt you. I'm either trying to tempt you to go into your pockets and release some money to my website or something like that, or just be a tease and turn your ass on. Totally. But you guys get the gist of it. But, temptation is one of the biggest sins. Am I correct?
Yeah, it lust. Yes. It's definitely lust.
Yes.
Yes.
It is. And, actually, I want to play a game with you a little later,
okay.
Besides that one. But since your name does start with a T, and it is Temptation Tuesday, probably in the second hour, I would like to know, what are your temptations?
Oh, Lord. That's a long list, baby girl. I'm tempted every day.
Every day?
Every day. It's all in my head. I don't necessarily act it out. It's just all in my head. There's so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many beautiful men. There's so many beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
You could be. I'm just minding my own business. Mm-hmm. Here they come, making eye contact. I'm like, oh no. He's trying to shop a little bit closer to me in the store. He's trying to wait for me to go up to the register. I'm like, this is too much. I need to let me get in my car so I can leave.
All right, so the meaning for temptation is a strong urge or desire to have to do something. Temptation is also desirable to coaxing inducing person into committing such an act by manipulation or curiosity.
Ooh, it sounds so good.
It sounds dirty, huh?
Yeah.
It sounded pretty dirty, huh?
Pretty dirty. Manipulation or curiosity, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's everybody is curious, so that makes sense.
So with curiosity, yeah, but manipulation, I'm guilty.
Oh,
yeah, I'm guilty. Like all day, every day. I'm guilty all day, every day. All right, so as I'm posting right now, and I'm telling you guys that our Who Say What segment is back. And that's one segment that I love. That is our gossip segment.
Okay.
That's our gossip segment. So anybody that's new to Chocolate Radio, the live show here, and you asking like, who say what? Who Say What is our gossip segment to where we talk about the gossip, we write about the gossip. We don't ever want to be about the gossip, but we just messy about the gossip. There's no way that I can do this show without talking about the Oscars.
Oh God. It was terrible.
How did you think? Overall, did you think it was terrible? Actually, I think that Jimmy Kimmel did a great job.
He did. I didn't really watch the whole thing, but he did. He's a great host in general. He's great. Mm-hmm. But girl,
I know
it was so much happening. That was just like, whatever happened, people are just never happy.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Exactly. All right. So what I want to say first of all, I want to congratulate all of the people that out there that had won the Oscars this year, and it was so great to see so many beautiful Black people that was on the red carpet and on the stage.
Yes.
And winning.
Actually winning.
And winning. Yes, and winning. And
yes,
winning.
And accolades.
Right, exactly. And I want to shout out to my boy Gary from Chicago.
Gary.
Right. And the thing is, if you guys didn't watch it, I know you guys has been all over the internet, but actually it's found out that Gary was actually released from jail like 3 days before he did. Yeah, they said something about he served like 20 years in jail.
What?
So yeah, something like that. Now I'm just gossiping. I read it on somebody's blog, so
I don't know if he was in there.
Don't shoot them. Yeah, they said he served about 20 years. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but he did the fool. I love how he took old boy's he took old boy's trophy, his award.
Oh yeah.
And gave him his phone. He did an even swap.
Yes.
And he told him took a picture with it. I mean, that's some Chicago stuff. That's some Chi-Town Chicago stuff. But let me not drag it out. Let's go on to the end of it. To the very end of this is the biggest award of the year of the show, the Best Picture Award.
Girl.
So we know Warren Beatty and
Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway did a really, really big mishap, and people have been saying it's like the Steve Harvey thing. All right, so let's be honest. Now, I want to ask you guys honest from here on Periscope and here on YouTube and Chocolate Radio and Rip Radio. And I want to ask you too. Now, honestly, remember, it's a live taping. Yes. It's a live taping, and you have this envelope. I'm not trying to give no excuses. I just want to know what the hell that you would do if you were in that situation. So if you was in that situation and you had that envelope and you saw that it says the Best Actress Award and it had, what's the name in there.
Right.
What would you do? Would you do the same thing that they did, or would you do something else? Now, for me, because I know shit ain't perfect. Right. I know people ain't perfect. I know people make mistakes. On live TV, I would have said this. We're all not perfect.
Right.
And there's some mistakes that are being made. Right now, I have the wrong envelope. So I would like for someone from the back to bring it to the front because I need that paper so I can be able to reward the correct winner.
Right.
Instead of, calling out somebody else's name. Right. So I guess they was trying to stop from being embarrassed, but they end up being more embarrassed afterwards. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now for you, what have you done?
I wouldn't. Well, you could tell by the look on Warren Beatty's face that he knew something was wrong.
Yes.
And he kept looking at Faye and trying to get her to look down at the envelope, and she wasn't really looking. She was looking at him like, why don't you just read it? So me, I probably would have been like, would have gave it to her too, so she would read it and not me.
Oh hell! Let me remind you not to be on the same stage with you when we're doing a award show.
No, but it's like he didn't want to be blamed for it. Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't. Well, let's say if it was just me up there, then I would have spoken up, because I don't think you can tell if it's not saying what it's supposed to say. He literally just had the wrong envelope altogether.
Yes.
Altogether. So somebody gave him the wrong envelope. So it's really not his fault. You know, it's not Warren Beatty's fault. I don't think so. It's the person who gave him the wrong envelope.
But if you were reading and you saw that what it said, because you see from the playback that he knew that was the wrong thing.
Right.
So in that hands,
that was the wrong card.
Yes, you knew that. You knew it was the wrong winner. It was the wrong category. It was the wrong everything. So in that hands, you should have said, the card that I'm reading right here is incorrect. And I know it's just an honest human mistake. So if someone from the back will please bring me, Warren Beatty, the correct one so I can truly, give it to the right person. And I think everybody would have stood up and clapped and, such and such and such. And why I say that is because for me, I felt like it was a missed opportunity for Moonlight producers and stuff like that to get that initial shot for me.
Right.
No,
that's true.
That's what I felt.
And then the other thing, the other cast from the other film, from La La Land, they were already holding the Oscars. So they take the
thanking
Oscars
everybody.
Oh, that's really bad.
Not only one or two people, it was like three people that was thanking everybody.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. But again, congratulations to everybody for the Oscar. Let's move for fast forward to the Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj.
Girl.
Did you hear the 7+ minute diss song?
Oh, I heard it. And we know who wrote it too. His name is Papoose.
You think so?
Oh, girl, it sounds just like Papoose.
You don't think Remy?
They wrote it together, but that sounds like him talking. That sounds like his style, not really all her style.
No, but she used to be a battle rapper. You know that, right?
Yeah.
She started off as a battle rapper, and I think she can go raw like that. The thing is that I miss shit like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I miss this battle that you battling right there, on the record, on the tape. I miss that shit. That reminds me back in the day, and I'm probably telling my age of LL Cool J and Cool Mo D.
90s, early 90s.
Right, type of shit when, when people did this during a rap day. And I say, keep going with it.
And they all were real rappers.
Yeah. So Nicki Minaj, if you got it, baby, come back with something good, and let's keep this shit going on. People, they want to stop and keep going with it.
I don't think she's gonna come back with anything. Nah.
Really?
I really don't. Even if she does, it's still not gonna be better than Remy. I don't think so. And I'm a Nicki Minaj fan. I just don't think
You're a bar?
I'm not a bar.
Okay.
I'm just I've never seen her in concert, and I probably never will. So, I just think that I don't. She's kind of like Mariah Carey, where she thinks she's too good to clap back because, she's been around for a little while and everybody's talking about her coins, and it doesn't matter because she's more successful because she has more money. But everybody knows that rap is more about your credibility,
to be a lyricist.
Yes, your actual real skill. So, we'll see, girl. I don't think she's going to come back with anything. It's not going to be worth a damn even if she tried. She ain't no battle rapper.
And last but not least, my boy Chris Brown. All right, so a few years ago, I was all for Chris Brown. I really was, even after the Rihanna type of, Rihanna thing and stuff like that. But just recently, he was hit with a restraining order from Karrueche. Yeah, Karrueche. All right, so, I don't really know what to say about this. It's just, I apologize. And I'm going to be very honest. You know, because I saw this video about a couple of weeks ago that he was talking, and I actually teased Devoe about it, about that, you know, once you're in a relationship and he loved you or whatever like that, there's no way to go after that. You are always mine and I'll forever be mine. And you know, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's some real stalking shit. That's like,
crazy.
Yeah, like, you know, that kind of like turn. And then, you know, fast forward a week later, he was hit with the restraining order.
Girl, that is some serious hot scolding tea right there. I can't stand Chris Brown, period. I think he's a child. I don't care how much money or talent he has. I don't think he's a man. But it's two people in the wrong here because you cannot. She knew what he was.
She got with him.
She was with him, that boy, for 3 years. That boy got her friend pregnant, had a baby with her friend, and she still took him back after that. Girl, please, these women, they need to get some backbone because all that money is not all it's cracked up to be if you don't have your self-respect. So, and she gets so pissed off when people say, well, all you gonna be is Chris Brown's ex-girlfriend. I mean, well, if she would get away from him, maybe people would stop saying that about you.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
So, and he just has anger management problems. Seriously. It's like, do you hate women or what is going on? So I can't stand him, girl.
Oh, wow.
Can't stand him.
All right, so why Tish Marie is can't standing Chris Brown, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to hit our topic, temptation. This is your girl, Nyomi Banxxx, here on Chocolate Radio, the live show here on RIP Radio Network.
When we late night, no sleep.
They say your eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, if that's true, let's make those eyes amazing and simply sexy with a Kiss Shadows, only at a Kiss Cosmetics.
Better make your day when you see a man sweat. And when I come your way, I better get your pants wet. But it's all good, I love the way that thing get. And we already here, so we ain't taking rain checks. Got the tripod up and we just need the scene set. Champagne and candles, girl, let me get them things lit. And you just chill, now you don't need them jeans zip. You can take them off, then go ahead and let your knees split. And I'ma go to work, no Kumo D-track. I'ma do some things that'll make you scream, girl, I mean that. And when you scream, then you can cream, just get that thing wet. No miracle, but it's so cool the way I mean it. Ain't playing around, I put it down and you ain't seen shit. And on that no have blanket soaks and you ain't teased yet. Know you like that sound, so lay it down, I got your dream set. And girl, you know you can hit my phone when you wanna breeze back. Late night, late night, yeah. Some new sheets, that's with me. Late night, late night, yeah. Just you and me, late night, no sleep. I find it sexy every time you crowd to me. Looking at me like you wanna give it all to me. Already know what's up the way you keep on calling me. Giving you TLC so you can waterfall for me. Slow motion, bring it down and just pause for me. You don't know how much pressure your body keep on causing me. On that R. Kelly body calling down a hall for me. Got it all star slot, so I know you ball for me. So you know what I mean, you on my team, cause you the best, girl. Give you time to breathe, let's take 15 for a rest, girl. And while you are open your bra, show me your breast, girl. Restore foreplay, that's my forte, I'll do the rest, girl. Get in the 6, I'll make you sweat hair like a nest, girl. Quarter to 10 and we deep in part of the quest, girl. Then by 11 you in heaven feeling blessed, girl. Finally midnight and you done right, what you expect, girl. Late night, late night, yeah. Some new sheets, that's with me. Late night, late night, yeah. Just you and me, late night, no sleep. Late night, late night, yeah. Some new sheets. Late night, late night.
Late Night featuring Shabazz. Right?
Yes.
Shabazz. All right, it's your girl Nyomi Banxxx here on Chocolate Radio, the live show, here on chocolateradioliveshow.com and RIP Radio Network. I am here with my girl, the sexy Miss Tish Marie. Hey, baby.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, always.
Nice glass of wine.
The wine, I'm next to you.
Right, we just did a little gossiping.
A little bit of gossip.
A little bit messy.
A little bit, not too messy.
Right. So now we get ready to talk something real sexy. We about to talk about temptation, baby.
There's a whole lot of it out there.
A whole lot of it. All right. So early today, I posed a question on what are the top 5 temptations of the world, and I posted it on Instagram and Twitter. But I'm not gonna give those responses just yet. But you guys know what I always do. I always go to, one of my favorite blogs is askmen.com.
Yes.
Askmen.com, to kind of, see, compare their answers with the answers that I got and then what I feel. All right, so let me tell you what my temptations is. One of my temptations is control.
Control.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing, it's a thing of mine that when I see it or when I feel it, you can look at somebody and you can tell if you can control that person or not. And I don't want to, think like she just a control. Yes, I am. I can't even fake it. I can't fake it at all. I do. I have control issues. But for me, that's a big turn on. So most of my temptations are turn ons.
Okay.
Like completely.
Okay.
Some of them might be bad to some, but they're great for me. So I guess that's why I posed the question. Is temptation really, really bad?
Yes. Because there are great temptations that are I guess temptations can be some temptations can be considered healthy for you, but it's so many of those temptations that get you into trouble, men and women.
Is it the temptation or is it the miscommunication behind the temptation?
No, I'm really just speaking in general, not necessarily of a sexual nature. Because a child can be tempted when your mama tells you can have no more chocolate chip cookies, and then you keep staring at the big jar in the kitchen. It's the same way how men stare at your big ass titties, and they just propped up in your bra, and they just, what I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna go talk to her. I need to get to know her. That's part of the temptation. Even though your girl is at home, you still gonna go talk to so and so over there. So and people associate, especially religious people, they associate temptation with sin.
Right.
So, that's a long list of sin. So
that's it for you being disobedient.
Right.
All right. So let's go back to the cookie jar. So I'm just being there with advocacy. That's all I'm doing. All right.
Okay.
So me as a child, and there's a cookie jar. All right. And my mom and my dad tell me, no, you cannot have that cookie in a cookie jar. I say, who, me? No, I'm not going to go there.
Yes, you.
But anyway, for me, I've always tried to be a very persuasive person, a very persuasive child. And that's what I mean by the lack of communication of getting something that you want without getting in trouble. So if I'm
I know, I already know what you mean. I'll gladly have one cookie on Tuesday if I already know what you mean.
You're right. So it's like, my thing is like, what, mommy, let's do this. Can I have a cookie? I promise I will be good for the rest of the week if I can just have one cookie, or 2 cookies, something like that. So you kind of, talk your way into it. Then that temptation will be, taken care of, and you won't get in trouble.
I hope y'all are listening out there, because that is a part of the manipulation process, like we already talked about.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, madam.
How is that manipulation?
Being sweet. You can manipulate somebody by being sweet.
Oh yeah, I'm being
especially
sweet
if you're attractive. Yeah. So if you're a beautiful little child and you bat your pretty little brown eyes at mommy or daddy, you can get your way. That is manipulation, my darling.
I don't see it as that. I see it as just a true talent of being able to change one's mind.
Yeah. and there are really cute furry kitties and furry little doggies do the same thing when they whine, when they want something. They just ate, but they want you to feed them again.
Mm-hmm. This is being very persuasive.
Yes, I know.
Very persuasive.
Mm-hmm. Children really, I'm going to say it again. Children know how to manipulate just like adults do. So, yeah.
All right, so I'm teasing here, but honestly, I'm a very persuasive person. I don't think it's manipulation because when you say that, it's like that's a bad word.
It is a bad word.
Yeah, it is. It's a very bad word. And yeah, it's a bad word. So I'm trying to find I'm trying to find a version of me in here that I can kind of, sweeten it up some, to where it doesn't look like manipulation and it actually looks like I'm just trying to convince you that cookie is good for me. Wow. That sweet cookie is just as sweet as me. You understand what I'm saying? Just like if I seen a man or a woman that I was attracted to and I thought it was tempting. If I was with my man, I would talk to my man, you know what, she is really, really fine. Or he is really, really fine. All I just want to do is just touch him or touch her.
That's a damn
or touch it.
See, even when you start involving people, it's way worse. Because your heart is beating, you start sweating under your pits, all these chemical things that happen in your body when you see something delicious in the human form. Girl, that you just pumped it up to level 20 with that one. Level 20 at Chocolate Radio, okay?
All right, so tell me this. Now, for you, when you get tempted in something, what is your next reaction? What is your first reaction when you are tempted by anything, whether it be a man or a woman or, No, I want to know about when you're tempted by a woman.
I was just going to tell you, too.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not aggressive, I just actually... I flirt back. I just flirt back. Sometimes I can tell that when they're interested in me, but they're not heavily flirting. So that is when I see that like women can relax, like lesbians can relax around me and they're not, all over me like a guy would be. That turns me on and that will make me want to flirt with her more and compliment her and tell her how sexy she is. She's really beautiful. So that's basically what I do. And I'll just, wait to see, if it's going to go past the flirting, but if, it's very different when a man is doing. But see now, and actually, if the woman is flirting with me like she's a man, I can't stand that.
Well, see, that's why I don't like aggressive women.
No, I don't like aggressive.
Yeah, I don't like aggressive women either. Okay, so you're ready to say something about it's different for a man
because I'm used to it. If a man is aggressive, whether he's aggressive or not, I'm used to it both ways. Now it just comes down to, how good your game is, basically. So that I'm I'm more familiar with that kind of flirting. But were you asking me about the temptation? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, when I'm tempted by a man.
Yes, when you're tempted by a man.
I started undressing him with my eyes first of all.
Okay.
Because first of all, he looks good, and if he sits next to me, he smells good, and I can, I'm gonna see what gesture, like, because gestures are very important, for first impressions. Whether he's shaking my hand, kissing my hand, or he put his arm around my waist, whatever it is, offers to buy me a drink. Because he could, when they saying all the right things, girl, and they keep pushing that liquor. So, it's just how the man makes me feel very comfortable right away, and he's not, too heavy, too forward. That's a huge, just temptation when they're super duper suave, which is very rare nowadays. When some men can do it. You think, like, is he an actor or is this just a part of his swagger? So when it just comes out naturally and you don't think he's putting it on, he's not giving you the same lines he gives every woman, that's a huge turn on.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I just believe that I've heard everything. Like seriously, I think I have a book. Back in the day, I used to always say when people come up with these different lines of say, I got a book with that line in it. Like I've heard that line before. I've heard like several lines before. You know, so for me, I think that someone coming up with something different, for me,
it just depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know. But I mean, because once you're aware of his stature and he looks good, he smells good, and you guys are just out of the lounge. I mean, the next thing is good conversation, right? So he's got to be saying something to keep me interested,
right?
And also men that actually ask you about yourself more than
they're talking about themselves
the whole time. So, girl, as long as he don't ask me back to his place, there can be a second date, third date, because I ain't going to nobody's house on the first date that I have met you. Ain't gonna happen. I don't care who you are. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care if I just saw you at the award show and your house is in Hollywood Hills. I'm not going home with you.
All right, so let me ask you this. Have you ever, and I want to be honest, have you ever been tempted to have a one-night stand? First of all, have you ever had a one-night stand?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Never. I've been tempted to have one, sure. But that's the other thing. I don't want to do anything super duper sexual on the first date.
Okay.
Because they
say what's super duper, but like what's not super duper sexual? They want to
eat your pussy on the first date.
On the first date?
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Yes, and I'm just like, I thought we was just going swimming. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Like, it's like you like dinner, and then he's like, here's the jacuzzi. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then it's like, you go to the bedroom, and I got 2 showers. You can use this shower. And then all of a sudden, he in the bed waiting, like, he posing, like, yeah, girl. He in his boxer briefs, and I'm just like, can we go back to the living room again? See, that's why you don't go home with no damn body.
Oh my
God. That's from my college days. I had to learn not to do that because if you're going back home, he wants to have sex, obviously.
Oh my God, this reminds me of one of my cousins. She had this story that I shared about a couple of years ago, and it was funny. This is why I don't like to hook up friends with family members.
Oh no,
I really don't. So I had this certain friend. We actually called him the pull-out guy. Oh, no. Because they were on like their second or third date or whatever, and I think it was third date or whatever. They were hanging out, and he had invited her over to his house, and he had cooked for her and everything like this. She said they were kissing and and rubbing and touching and whatever, and she went to the bathroom. So when she came back from the bathroom, he had already pulled his dick out.
Oh yeah. That happened to my homegirl too. That happens to everybody. It's so sad. Like, okay.
So the temptation got a little away from him, and it kind of made it like there.
I don't even know if that was just temptation. It's not. It's just men thinking that going out to dinner means they get the pussy dessert every damn time just for giving a bitch a meal. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's what they do now.
Who? 21-year-olds?
Yeah.
Okay, but
you got 30-year-olds that do that shit too.
Oh, girl, no ma'am.
Yeah, they feed you. They're giving up the ass.
Well, I mean, yeah, for a cheese. I mean, now look here. I guess it depends on what restaurant you go to. But that's the problem because they're messing it up for the girls who don't give up pussy for a steak. Like no, giving up pussy for a damn steak.
Right.
That's a shame.
All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back because we do have a Ask Nyomi situation that's going on. One of my listeners had posted something out to me, and I want my girl Tish Marie to kind of help me out. You guys help me out. And then we're going to come back with our 5 hot, temptation. Right. All right. This is your girl Nyomi Banxxx here on Chocolate Radio, the live show here on Rip Radio Network.
We gon' do this thing right. I'ma take my time. This thing called love, can you feel it? Do you see it? Do you hear it? Please girl, don't fear it. It's nothing to be afraid of. Love is what we were made for. And I promise you, love never fails. It may be against the road sometimes, but still it prevails, girl. So let me introduce you to something you're not used to, and let this love consume you. And your love is a beautiful thing, yeah. And baby girl, you're a beautiful queen to me. Love is a mutual thing, you see. So let me introduce you to this thing called love. Is a beautiful thing, yeah. And baby girl, you're a beautiful queen to me. Love is a mutual thing, you see. So let me introduce you to this thing called love. It can heal your heart or hurt it, but all the side effects of love are worth it. So let's make it work. Better yet, let's work it. I know you're nervous, but just relax. I know eventually that time will elapse, but maybe we can follow time as it fit perhaps. But our love will never fade, and that's a fact. Factual, actually, love made us a match. Your love is a beautiful thing, yeah. And baby girl, you're a beautiful queen to me. Love is a mutual thing, you see. So let me introduce you to this thing called love. Is a beautiful thing, yeah. And baby girl, you're a beautiful queen to me. Love is a mutual thing, you see. So let me introduce you to this thing called love. It definitely has no limits. Love is blind, so look at age don't make a difference now. The critics say love's just a gimmick, and that the words I loved you are only used to mimic the mysterious. I mean you and I. To be specific, lady, that means you and kind. Yeah, let's experiment with this experience. Let's fall into this thing called love and have something so intimate. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. And baby girl, you're a beautiful queen to me, yeah. Love is a mutual thing, you see. So let me introduce you to love. Is a beautiful thing, yeah. And baby girl, you're a beautiful queen to me, yeah. Love is a mutual thing, you see. So let me introduce you to love, love, love. Let me introduce you to love, love, love. Let me introduce you to So let me introduce you to
I'm scared people.
Right, all right. It's your girl Nyomi Banxxx here on Chocolate Radio Live Show. You guys just listened to this is probably one of my favorite songs. This thing called Love by Kyle.
I like that too. I love that song.
Yeah, well, welcome.
Yeah, I kind of like crept in.
Right,
I'm trying this new
Mr.
thing
Johnny
too.
Come Lately.
I'm trying this new thing too. Like,
Better than
notice I don't
Johnny
have my
Come Early.
headphones on. So
I
I'm
see.
trying to do it without the headphones on.
Right, you got a little glow to you. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the salt and pepper, little.
No, you know what's funny?
what's
Because
been going on?
I usually cut this off, but
Right.
my daughter was like, "Yeah, just let it grow." So I'm just trying to.
No.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
No, it's cute.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
trimmed up. Like I gotta trim it a little bit. But
Right.
She loves it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, if you guys just tuning in, it's your girl, Nyomi Banxxx, here on Chocolate Radio The Live Show, here on ChocolateRadioTheLiveShow.com and Rip Radio Network.
You sound like a glow. Like you got this glow too.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no makeup on today.
You just got back in town, though, right? You went out of town.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I did some dungeons.
See, I can tell.
Yeah, you know, I like to be in control of things.
Special glow.
Do? No, actually today I actually got to rape some pockets today.
Oh, you did?
No, I raped some pockets today.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah, that was nice, the financial dom type of thing. So it was pretty
You
good.
like that type of stuff too.
Oh
right?
hell yeah,
Which
that's
one you
a
like
turn
better?
on.
Like pegging or
Well, we gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about this on another show about the fetish thing.
It's always another.
But because actually it gotta be
No, because you remember we discovered this a couple shows ago how
right.
super conservative you are actually in real life. Like you're very shy.
She's
Yeah, in person, she's like super shy.
I am not shy.
You can put it like this. She got a lot of focus. She's afraid of a lot of stuff.
It's no, I'm not afraid. It's just I don't like feet. I don't like feet. I don't like hands. I don't like any of that. So it has no.
Come on. No,
It's about holding hands.
With
holding hands.
With normal shaking hands or holding hands.
No, it's like caressing hands. Because I actually had her reach out and do that, but that's kind of like.
I saw
that's
that
like
show.
a creepy.
I saw that
It's
show.
temptation.
I'm like,
Right.
This woman.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about, right?
Right, it's like crazy.
Yes.
So before we go there, let me make sure that I introduce everybody all around. You guys know, the man that knows all, Mr. Alexander Devoe. What's going on, baby?
What's up?
Yeah, we got to do it right.
I got a special glow though.
You do. It looks like you are.
It's the platinum. That's what
Is it? Was that earring in your nose? Is that ring on your nose? Yeah, I guess your face must have been dirty all the time that I didn't see it blinging like that. No, I'm just kidding.
It's because they've been various sizes. Like
Yeah. Oh, that's a big one.
Well,
You got your income tax check?
No, it's
You
not
did
big.
get your income tax check?
No, it's not big.
It's a nice size. I mean, it looks good though. I like it, but it's just something like that's not what's making your face glow.
It's because the light is like shining down. I usually sit over here.
It's
in the
blinging.
dungeon,
It's blinging off.
I'm in a
Blinging
different
off your
position, so the light
nose.
is shining on me differently, so I might be glowing like a little bit differently
Why
tonight.
is he so theatrical?
Very.
Oh,
That's what it is.
Really?
It's the position of the light.
Wow.
Because you're glowing too. Like you got that nice red
Really?
with the
I think it's the red hair.
the halo.
This is like
That's
a
maroon.
it's the
Wine
burgundy.
It matches your wine.
Yeah.
wine. Yeah, it's the wine. It's the wine type.
Now what happened to my woman
Stacy?
over there?
Your girl?
Yeah.
Well, actually, look, I'll tell you what was going on with her in a minute. Let's reintroduce herself. Her name is Tish.
This is the chocolate.
Yes, baby.
Hi. Don't make me shy.
Are you
yeah.
really?
A little bit. When he says stuff like that, yeah, I get shy. I do. I get shy a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I get shy when any attractive man flirts with me.
Wow.
Actually, I do. I'm like that.
He's attractive.
No, he's handsome.
Yeah, she likes to be touched.
Oh, look at this woman over
Your
here.
skin is like.
It's like chocolate velvet.
For those of you can't feel her skin, like it's like super
It's
soft.
velvety.
No, it's like creamy.
Chocolate velvety. You know I put shea butter. Shea butter. Actually, yes, I do the milk bath. I do it once a month at the spa.
Oh, that's what's up.
Nice.
It's bomb.
Nice.
It's bomb. It's gonna be a whole body. Yeah,
You
you
just dump your
should.
whole body in it.
They pour it all over you back and front.
Is it warm?
Yeah.
Warm?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do that. We got to do a spa day.
Right.
But I had to do it after I go with him to his happy ending. Yeah, because I gotta watch.
Oh yeah.
I have to sit there and I have to watch them, like literally give him a happy ending. I want to see him.
That is so funny.
I want to do that.
Like, see, I'm not gonna do all that.
Now, was she
Are you
trying to? They'll give you, or it just happened that she was trying to?
No, like you said, I explained it to her. Like you don't go in there saying, "Oh, you know what? You can't do that."
Right.
Like, it just.
Oh, okay. So
They
it just
do what
happened.
they want to. They do.
It happened organically.
They do what they want to do based on how they feel about the person coming in to get the massage.
I think honestly, I think that's true. Honestly,
right.
Yeah, because every man really doesn't go there for that.
Bullshit.
Look. No,
If you go there looking for that, you may not find it because they don't think you.
That's true
You're
too.
not an undercover
Unless
type
you
of
go to
person.
the spot. Now
Well, you
you
can
go
go
to
there
the
being
spot.
thirsty
No, they
about
give
it.
you a cop if you come in there like, oh, you can't do that. Nah,
All right, so when you were laying there, so I'm
she gonna go back.
But if
yeah, I'm
you-
about to go. I can't
no,
go back. I can't go back there.
But if
No,
you
because
a
you was-
referral, then they know. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys refer other guys
No,
to
I
certain
never.
spots.
I went there to get a massage.
No, I know you
Because I go
did.
get
I know
regular
you
massage.
I don't know that. I
I
think he
mean-
went in there to get it
No, I did
in.
not.
Ooh.
Okay.
But you got like if you get a table shower, if somebody's just like squeezing your cheeks and stuff, like
See, I would like to see that. I would like to see your ass in the bra, and I would like to see somebody like
Ass
squeeze
in the bra.
your ass in the bra,
bra.
like in the
Ass
bra,
in the bra.
and there.
Naked booty. Yes, it do. Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do. Yeah, it sounds just right. That shit sound perfect.
It sounds great. Go right along with his perfect dick, his perfect thick dick. It
Yes.
goes right along.
Oh, yeah.
You can't put ass and raw together.
Yes, you
When
can.
you describe it to me, like
Yes,
those two don't go together.
Well, it's either raw or it's well lubricated. Now, which one you want?
Not just like a oiled up. No, I can't even go that way.
See, then that's a temptation for your ass right there.
Ooh.
That is very tempting.
I'm
Oh,
shy when it
wow.
comes to stuff like that. Though.
Aw.
Mm.
Seriously,
Okay.
nah, I'm really shy like that.
Aw.
What are you looking?
I'm imagining your raw, naked ass on the
That ass
table.
now it's only
And
go
it's
two ways. If it's raw
Oh,
or it's lubed up.
well, maybe this would be like when I get naked and get on the table. Maybe they just can't just whatever.
They're like, oh yes.
I don't want to create that visual.
Oh yes, chocolate thunder.
Some people
Oh, yeah.
might cause
Yo,
cause a different type of picture to be put into their mind, and I don't.
Right, but for you, it caused a little arousement, a little temptation in your body, right? It'll tingle. Just imagining you just laid across the table, like right now, we just actually just lay across the table, just raw, butt ass naked, while we just go get us some champagne or some wine and just put it all over your ass.
That sounds so damn good.
I don't do all that. Like,
That sounds
we
so good.
We'd have to recreate the experience. Like, so you have to put a little hole.
That's what we trying to
You gotta
do.
put a hole.
But we trying to do it with wine, baby. We trying to do it with wine, with champagne. We trying to get it in.
Like, where's mine? I'm
The
feeling
bubbly.
that. I never do this.
Right, we know. So after the break, when the break, we're gonna get you a glass, so we can get you all liquored up. We're
No,
gonna
this
get
is-
you all
this is
liquored up, and
fruit.
we're gonna have you on this table by the end of
Oh,
the.
see, that's why I bring my lube everywhere, y'all. I bring it everywhere.
What is it?
Baby, so you can be shiny.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
It's
Confusing
got
you
it's
with-
got the natural oils in it, natural
like
oils.
coconut.
It's
Yeah,
like
coconut
oil.
oil.
Yeah, the massage oil.
It's a
Exactly.
challenge.
Exactly. Someone said, "Great idea."
Behind the scenes, y'all. Behind the scenes.
Matter of fact, it was your boy James. He said, "Great idea."
Lord.
James got some other
Right.
ideas. He got some other tendencies.
All right, guys. So we found out with Tish and mine, our temptations are, what we are tempted to do and what we would do next. Now, sis, Mr.
These are-
Devoe.
Okay, these are bad things that you would be tempted to do.
No,
You're not
because
supposed to do.
for me, I don't really see that a lot of the temptations are bad. I think it's more a lack of communication on people's part.
Nah.
What you
Like
mean?
here, she think it's a manipulation type
We
of thing.
already established that most of the temptations are, usually bad because they are associated with, by religious people, they are associated with sin. It's
Right.
something that usually it's something that you're not supposed to be doing.
But who said that though? Who said
your subconscious tells you, I know I shouldn't be
Is
doing
it that
this,
because someone
but damn,
taught you
he's
that?
fine.
Like, is it something because someone told you that, or someone
I
told you that?
already said, if you see the good looking man in the street, you see the good woman in the street, I can see, if I see an attractive man, I'm gonna look at his eyes, I'm gonna look at his body type, and my eyes gonna go straight down to the bulge to see what he's working with. It's the same thing when a man see a woman tits and she's shopping and running around, her tits are jiggling. I mean, you can't help but like, damn, I want to milk those motherfuckers. That's how men think. So you already know, if you already know you got a man or a woman at home, you are tempted to go and talk to this woman because you're trying to see, men want to see how far they can get to get the goodies. So that is a huge temptation, really, for everybody, really, especially if you already got somebody at home. Is what I'm saying. That's an example that I use.
For me, I think you have to be in the situation, like with somebody about to unzip your pants.
He gonna bring it down,
Maybe they're sticking their hand in your stuff, pulling it out, licking the tip, and then you're in a situation where you're being tempted, so you have to resist the urge to be able to indulge in that type of stuff. And I've been there plenty of times.
Did you dive in? Did you dive head in first? Or did you
ladies and gentlemen listening, that is not temptation. That is doing the do.
No,
y'all are already doing it. She licking
Can you stop it though?
You can stop
but
it.
She licked your tip, but just say he just stopped and he said no.
No, she shouldn't, because in your mind, you're saying, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like it's not right.
Right. But you knew when she was unzipping you, right? Y'all in the wherever y'all at, y'all either in the couch or in the bedroom, and she unzipping you. You know what's coming out. She gonna pull your dick out.
Yeah, but you know how women do to men, especially.
What do women do to men?
Yeah, okay. Do.
Women like to do this thing where, somebody's married or got a girlfriend, so you're gonna purposely do stuff to put that man in that situation where he's going to have to be tempted and then resist. You're supposed to resist the temptation.
Those are devil women, though.
No, but that's just the way things happen. When you don't have somebody, then it's like they don't give a fuck. It only matters. It only matters when you have someone.
Oh, wow.
No, because that's just
no. You're right. I have heard of that.
That's just the way we are. That's how primal. The way the.
But once again, you say it.
Because I'm trying to spin some bullshit.
Right, I bet you are.
I know you are.
But it's like you gotta steal the dude away from the mate in order to tempt him to be able to stick his penis in you, so he can plant seeds in you. So that's how it happens. Like,
wow, he planting the seed though. Ooh,
because
Lord.
I don't know, when you got somebody like you just become like that much more attractive to other women, and
that's
they want
true.
to do stuff.
That's true.
Like you might be in a club or whatever, and then somebody's coming over there, like, rubbing their ass up against you, like, squeezing your stuff, like, to get you excited. I mean, it's temptation, like, all around you. So I used to try to resist, but
you just gave up.
No, I had to stay where it was like, okay, it didn't happen. This is what.
Wait, what?
No, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen in your mind.
It didn't happen.
Okay.
Like I do it, but it didn't happen. So it's just like if you go to sleep and you have a dream, like your brain can't tell whether that's a dream or reality. So I would make myself believe that, okay, if I'm in a situation.
This confused ass.
This man is something else.
You have to compartmentalize things.
Compartmentalize it.
Right. You have to create an alternate reality.
So you got to lie to yourself, so you can because you could be able to convince the lie to someone else.
No, I'm not lying to myself. It's just like
you did. Yeah, you are.
Your brain doesn't know the difference, though, whether it's reality or it's a dream state. So this is how I used to.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm telling you, this is how I used to deal with temptation. It's like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be doing it. Like I'm telling myself, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Oh,
so
boy.
Therefore, it does not exist because convincing my brain that there's no distinction between the dream world and reality. So therefore, the temptation did not happen. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, the temptation is definitely happening. The girl is in your house or your apartment and she is unzipping you and groping and rubbing your
No, because
balls.
you talk to yourself and you tell yourself, okay, self.
But your dick is
You're
out,
not
self. Your
No,
dick is
you
out.
tell yourself, look, I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Okay.
So when you start telling yourself you're not supposed to be doing it, it's in your brain.
Wow, wrong. Yeah.
It's time to turn on the switch, and you have to function in two different.
Look at me laughing. This is some bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know.
You have to function in two different realities or two different dimensions.
Okay.
So you got the real world, and then you have what you call the dream world.
We know what's happening
which
in the real
operates
world
to help you get past the point of giving into the temptation. So it did not happen.
I want to rub my head.
So I'm gonna let him stay in the dream world. And the other half of that foolishness is men tempt themselves, kind of like when they go to the strip clubs, right? Because not you, baby, but millions of men love the strip club, right? So they know that once again, a lot of married men love the strip club.
But what about the strip clubs?
No,
I go to strip clubs.
No, baby girl, but when men go, I'm saying that they are tempting themselves because most of them are not going to. They may want to go to the strip club and have sex with the strippers in the back room or whatever, but most of them don't necessarily get to do that.
So fantasy for you? Is fantasy a temptation?
Yeah. There's a chance. There's definitely a huge chance that. I mean, either this girl is if I choose a girl to have sex with at a strip club in the VIP room, she can either say no, or she can either choose to suck my dick if I had one, or a fuck. So, and the other half of that is there's too many people around. The girl doesn't want to do it. There's security. So I would say it's 50-50. Oh, I know a lot of strippers.
Because she been tempted.
Yeah. Not by a stripper, but by many people, yes. But I'm just speaking from like a man's perspective because I know that they 50% of the time they know they're not gonna get any pussy when they go to the strip club, but they gonna stare at it. They gonna try to smell it. Because the girls put their pussies in the men's faces.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. I guess because I just look at it because even with you go to a strip club for entertainment and you do go to be aroused. So you don't know don't know what that guy. Just say his name is Steve. Herbert. Whatever, yes. You know what I'm saying, and he come in because it helps stimulate him to go home to his wife and maybe to bang his wife even more. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So some people can use that fantasy as a stimulation to them at home. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So I don't ever, and I guess because I'm still thinking that temptation is not always a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's always a bad thing either. But the other reality of that is that men go to strip clubs to look at what they're not getting at home.
You can't say that. That's because I know I'm pretty nice.
I think that's very true. That's very true.
Has this thing where
especially if they're married,
he's gonna be the dude that goes to the strip club that ends up having sex with one of the girls there. Because that's always in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm. Is to have sex. So you're speaking for majority of the men.
To try to have sex. Or to
really?
Try to have sex.
Yeah, because
I just go to lust.
Well, yeah, you're a woman. So the dude would be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the club, and then maybe she will be tempted enough to have sex with me without me paying for it.
No, that's.
I'm just thinking because like the first time I went to a strip club, I was shocked because I didn't know what that was all about. So when somebody came and did a lap dance, I was just like, oh wow, you can do this in a strip club. Because I mean, believe it or not, that's how it was. I was like, oh, she's dancing on my lap, and I was just like,
Did you get a hard on?
No, I was married, so.
No, that was my question. Did you get a hard on?
No, I'm telling you,
Did you get a hard on? Yes, no. Did you get hard on? Yes, no.
can't
Did you get hard on? Yes,
I'm
no.
trying to remember, like, if I did or not. I probably did. And then I'm thinking, like, okay, well, that is, for somebody like me, that was definitely temptation. That's something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, even though that's the way because I didn't know that that's how strip clubs work. And I'm just like, okay, why? And so I'm looking around like, why is she on my lap doing a lap dance? I didn't even know what a lap dance was. Cause I was just like, wow, she just sitting in my lap. Like this shit is great. Cause I remember I went with my brother-in-law.
How you end up getting your brother-in-law?
We both went, so it was something we wasn't supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is in Hawaii, like we were in Waikiki, so it was like, oh, let's go to a strip club.
So what made you go to a strip club?
I don't know. We were just doing some shit like we weren't supposed to be doing, and he was just like, "Oh, let's just go." He was like, "Let's go to the strip club," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So we never really been to that type of shit, believe it or not. So I'm sitting there like, wow, like I shouldn't even be in here. And second of all, like she shouldn't be sitting in my lap. And third of all, like I shouldn't be getting hard on.
Right.
And what did I just do?
Yes, you are.
Am I in trouble when I get home?
Because you got a hard on?
Because he was there.
Because I was in the strip club.
You were in the strip club?
Yeah.
It's all about communication now. If you
No,
told
it's
your
about
wife, I'm going
temptation.
to a strip club, baby.
No, she was dancing. So
She was dancing at the strip club?
yeah, but see, I'd never been to the
What
strip club.
the?
Oh, well, that changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, but I didn't imagine her dancing at the strip club, but I never went to a strip club.
Yeah, I know, but you still changed the dynamic that she actually worked there.
Not at the strip club that I went to.
Oh, no, okay, well, see, we trying to
So the thing
understand all the
was, like-
details, okay.
Like with her being in an environment, it's like I'm not supposed to go into the environment.
Mhm.
So me not
Oh.
knowing what was going on inside the environment, I'm just like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. Why I'm not supposed to feel this way. So there definitely was temptation being in that environment that I'm not supposed to be
Right.
going through. So I think that's when the duality started when it's like, okay, this did not happen type shit.
Mm. Well,
All right, so let's do this. Let's go around because because I'm listening to your and I guess because I like to go to strip clubs at times. I do like to go to
I do
strip
too.
clubs at times, and I like I like for my men to go to strip clubs too, whether they be with me or without me.
yeah.
Like period.
I've been tempted a lot.
we know, boo. We know.
All right, but you know what I always do? I always go to askmen.com and I kind of see what they want to say about it and kind of compare to
these are really women.
yeah, I know you keep saying that. But for them, the top 5 things that they feel that men are tempted by, and you guys tell me if you guys agree with this. Number one is work.
What you mean?
What?
Yeah, it's work, and this is what they say. Yes, and this is what they say. They say few activities fulfill so many inherent needs among men as they work. As providers and protectors of their families, work is the means by which we maintain financial and physical security. As natural competitors, work presents a practical, productive means of winning with every milestone of success. As members of the communities, work is a status symbol, informing our place on the totem pole, so to speak. For all these reasons, the temptation is great for us to tip the scales of life in work favor. As a result, the very behavior intended to make your family feel secure leaves them feeling abandoned. Relationship with friends and neighbors may waive. 2, working every waking hour may earn you wealth, raise, and promotion, but it earns you little the way of a genuine security for and respect from the people you should be working for, yourself included.
That's 100% true. I think
That's a lot.
it is a lot, but men definitely. If a man can take care of himself and his household, whether he's single or not, I mean that's definitely a huge factor. It goes along with the alpha male, and is a man, worthy to be called a man, whether he's a hardworking person, and I think that gene men have, that where they're natural born competitors. A lot of men have that, so that definitely makes sense.
So going back to my initial question, is temptation truly that bad? Is it really all that bad? We're talking about somebody working.
Well,
Is it not?
that's totally different.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
get it. But we were talking about naughty temptations.
See, but that's all temptation, and you mentioned that
But-
before about the cookie jar.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Wait, what are these 5 things are supposed to be like? What? I think I'm confused.
The top 5 temptations that men experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was number 1.
Well, that.
Oh, these are like abstract
Yeah.
temptations.
Yeah,
Right. So,
they
but
don't
let me
really
finish. But let me
sound
finish
like
because some
temptations,
things
but-
are what it is, and then some not. And like I said, everything is not what it seems to be. You know what I'm saying? People
Right,
say because in the dictionary or in the Bible it says that temptation is bad, and people go from that.
Right.
You know. Period. Number 2, competition. Can you guys believe that one?
Yeah.
Being competitive.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3,
Mhm.
sex.
Girl, that should be number 1, child.
I kind of like stuck on that one.
I guess
Yeah.
that's the first thing that
But see, those
comes
can
to most
overlap.
people's
Mhm.
people's
A lot of
minds.
those that can overlap with a lot of other stuff.
Mhm.
Right. Mhm.
Pornography.
Oof, that's an
addiction.
That's an addiction, a serious addiction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And number 5 is deception.
Mm.
I'm still confused.
All right, this is what I say deception. It says inherit the compulsive that entrap good men is the temptation to use deception as a mean of control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so it goes on to say, with clients, you fudge the facts to land the deal. With family, you make promises you know you can't keep. With sexual partners, you say things you don't mean. Yet this deception aimed at controlling your compulsive, inedible ends up controlling you. The anxiety associated with maintaining a false perception further bankrupts the pleasure you so desperately seek.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
lying.
a real big one.
Yeah, that's just lying.
Yeah, it is, and it's a real big one.
Yeah, that's
because
just
most
lying.
people lie, so that's a real big one.
Right. All right, guys. So let's take a quick break. Let's come back. I definitely want to share with the Instagram folks said, right? All right, this is your girl Nyomi Banxxx. We're talking about temptation here on Chocolate Radio, the live show here on Rip Radio Network.
I'm trying to beat it at the frame, girl. Baby, relax your mind. You can go ahead and dim the lights. I'm about to lay it down. It's bedtime. You know what time it is, baby. Girl, I want you in the worst way. Go ahead, get the ice. You're looking like you need some whipped cream in your life. So when you're dealing with me, it's nothing but pure satisfaction. Yeah. You can have it any way you want it. Go relax your mind. We gon' do this thing right. I'ma take my time. I'm tryna beat it at the frame, girl. Baby, relax your mind. You can go ahead and dim the lights. I'm about to lay it down. It's bedtime. Let me go a little stronger. Baby girl, just hold it there a little longer. Lady, I'm tryna get some of that ooh. Take a few shots of the Tron. I swear, girl, we going all night long. Yeah, girl, I'ma break it down, break it down. Relax your mind. We gon' do this thing right. I'ma take my time. I'm tryna beat it at the frame, girl. Baby, relax your mind. You can go ahead and dim the lights. I'm about to lay it down. It's bedtime. I said I know I want you, and girl, I know you want me too. So girl, let's make this thing right. I'ma show you that we both compatible. What we have, it goes on and on and on and on. Said I need you, yeah, oh yeah. Relax your mind. We gon' do this thing right. I'ma take my time. I'm tryna beat it at the frame, girl. Baby, relax your mind. You can go ahead and dim the light.
All right. That was my boy Hakeem Romance with Bedtime here on Chocolate Radio, the live show. Here on ChocolateRadioLiveShow.com and Rip Radio Network. I am back here with my sexy co-host. And he is wait, I'm getting ready to finish. Can you let me continue to introduce your ass? For real. That he's glowing right now. I mean, I don't understand. See, right. He's glowing. It looks really nice. Like seriously. You do. The man that knows all.
The glowing.
Alexander Devoe, what's going on, baby?
What's up? Okay, let's do this up. I'm not gonna suck on no popsicle.
Wow.
No matter what James says.
Wow.
You're not gonna see me sensually sucking on no popsicle. I mean, I'll bite it. I'll bite it like
you bite it.
Bite it like you're supposed to. So there will be no popsicle sucking, no banana licking, like none of that type of stuff. Now, if you made strawberry, like we can do something like that.
Right, and before he just rudely, no, I'm kidding. We have our sexy chocolate Miss Diva, Miss Tish Marie in the house. What's going on, baby?
I'm horny. I'm doing good.
That's when you
all these temptations, like they always like that. They always like that.
It's like extra big.
Really?
That's the pink.
They look good.
That's just because it's the pink sweater in my glowing area.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't put no oil on it, but you didn't bring no shea butter.
I did. I brought some.
To grease them up. Let's be a new segment.
The way he said grease, though. Wait, to grease them up, though?
Grease them up.
Oh, that's real nasty.
I see you.
My nipples is in there. Wait, now I'm looking like no, that's the line of the bra.
No, he can't see a nipple. No nipple.
Oh, you gotta like double pat it, like.
I got a little something.
Why you sleep like you got goosebumps?
I ain't got no goosebumps. You gonna try and give me some?
Right, guys. So before the break, we were talking about temptation, and I actually went down a nice little list from AskMen.com. Guys, go check out that blog. Great insight for both men and women about your sexual being and everything else from that. But while we have Devoe here, seriously, what I want to do is I want to come away from the temptation just a little bit. We're going to come back, but I want to just come from that a little bit. But I know we had spoke the last time about,
You're not trying to give you a up on the table with the oil on my booty cheeks. Like,
no, I wasn't. I was getting ready to be straight. I really wanted, one thing is that I get a lot of emails and feedback because people really want to know what Devoe knows.
Right.
Seriously, they really want to know what Devoe knows. And that's the thing is, I'm getting ready to, touch into his intellect and things of that sort. And all he's thinking about is getting on my table and stripping it down and being butt ass naked where I can massage his booty.
Greasing.
Right, greasing it out.
Greasing.
Right. But what we're gonna do is, I want you to go ahead and and let us know what Devoe knows. Devoe knows what.
We try to do that right now.
Yes, we're doing it right now, baby. Right now, you're here.
Well, I think like one of the things that I know about, see, I talk about being contradictory a lot of times because people, have this fantasy in their minds about me, just doing a lot of women, like have a lot of sex with a lot of different type of women, but on the real, like I'm really and we went over this last time. I'm a romantic type of person. I don't know if I can be a one-on-one type of person, but I'm actually, an expert at giving women advice on relationships. Because I frequently find myself. Let's see how you look. Like you don't believe.
No, I didn't say anything. I just felt something in my temple.
No, but I find myself, counseling women about relationship issues and problems that they're having with men. So I try to give them advice about, things that they're doing wrong.
Do they follow your advice?
No, they don't follow my advice.
Okay.
So they usually, end up saying like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm just going to stay with what I think I've been doing all this time. And then that's going to make me have success with men.
Okay.
So I'm going to just touch on some stuff that causes women to have problems with men, and it's kind of like a disposition that women have. Look how you looking at me like this.
What? Because I'm listening.
Okay, this is just a story. I'm just gonna tell like a little story.
Okay.
And then I might the names might be different, but the outcome is basically gonna be the same. Okay, so there's this person that I've known for a long time, and she has been married like once. She's had 3 boyfriends in her life, and throughout different stages in her life, like she's wanted to have a relationship. So one time we were in Vegas and we were hanging out at the club, and when we left the club, we party like whatever. So we're sitting there and having a conversation about where she's at her stage in life. I'm a loser. I can't find a man. Like whatever. So she breaks down. She starts crying. So I'm like, well, what is it that you're looking for? And what I found, like, overwhelmingly what happens with a lot of these women in this type of situation is they have this fantasy of what the perfect relationship is going to be like and how that's going to happen. So it's like the expectation is that, there's going to be this guy, and the stereotypical view is like, okay, the dude's going to come galloping down the beach. He's going to be on a white horse. He's going to be the perfect man. He's going to be her king, and she's going to be his queen. The reality is that everything that you've been taught, or everything that women have been taught about what they think that a man thinks, you have to throw that out the window, and you have to just let yourself be in this position where you're gonna encounter the right man, and when you encounter the right man, you're not gonna know that that's the right man, because you're gonna turn him away, because you're not gonna feel a certain way about it. You're not gonna have the butterflies, none of that type of shit. You may feel like, okay, I'm not really attracted to this dude or whatever, but that's the perfect guy for you. And you're gonna turn that dude away because you don't feel like all of the cues are there. So at every stage of this person's life, I've watched her go through many different relationships. And each time she found this guy, it was the perfect guy. He understands me, like we communicate with each other, like he can read my thoughts, he reads my mind. He is my soulmate. And when you start using those terms, like a person being your soulmate and being your everything, that's not the right person for you. That is the wrong person for you. The person that you're communicating with, the person that you're telling these stories about in each stage in your life, that is the person who is the right person for you. You agree with that or not?
Say that again.
Okay, the person these people who I don't name have been communicating with, the person who's been there throughout everything, who's given this person this advice, is the right type of person for this particular woman, or just women in general who have
rather than the one that is the soulmate.
Connecting with women, connecting with this person because they think that's her soulmate, is the wrong person for you. The person that you've been able to communicate with and who's been there, who's giving you that advice, what you see as a totally platonic person, is the type of person that you need to be connecting with.
Okay.
That's a good one. I mean, actually, I do agree with that.
I do too.
I do agree with that. And then let me go to this. I'm going to piggyback off of you, and I'm going to piggyback off of you with our Ask Nyomi question. We had a listener that actually, that was one of the things he asked is that, what do you feel about, how do you feel if you have a good relationship with a friend and they want to make the relationship exclusive between you and them, just you guys dating, but you have trust issues? How can you coexist with them?
It's, first of all, you have to be really honest with this person, and if you know inside that you're not really, either you're not ready for a relationship or you're not interested in having a relationship with that person, you have to really just tell them straight out that you're such a good friend, I care about you, I love you, we're so close that I don't want to lose the friendship if we have a falling out over a relationship, because that happens, and it's really unfortunate that a really good friendship can go sour because you really weren't initially in love with the person, or you weren't interested in having a serious relationship with that person. And it's just sometimes people get confused when that happens, because it could be like, oh, I love him like a brother, or no, I'm really in love with him now. People get really, really confused with things of that.
Right. But I think with him is the whole thing is that he likes this person. They're friends, and they've been, how you can be in a relationship and be friends with that person. But because of your lack of trust, I mean, regardless of it has to do with your past relationships and stuff of that sort. You don't know if that can coexist with that. For me is that if you can't trust, then you can't be in no relationship.
You sure
that's
can't. No.
That's point blank, period.
Right.
And it will be hard for you to do that. But if you've been in this friendship, and you should be able to trust that friendship. For me, that's what I think.
You should be able to, but yeah, that kind of the lack of trust is part of that person's baggage.
Right,
but that's going on within that
you need to check yourself.
Yeah, you do.
You understand what I'm saying?
Which means you should not be in any kind of relationship like that.
Exactly. Now, for you, what do you feel?
About what? But I totally missed the whole thing.
You totally missed the whole thing. So we were just over here talking, and you just like you was doing down. How ignorant,
Say it again, because I was like, man,
the guy is really, the guy's really.
It was chocolate.
Oh, I didn't put my shea butter on yet.
Okay, what was it?
Wait till I put the butter on.
It's getting tempted in here, huh, Devoe? All right, so the question for the show is, if you have a good relationship with a friend and they want to make the relationship exclusive, just you and them and date, but you have trust issues, how can you coexist with them?
I don't trust them because of something that they've done to show me that they're not trustworthy.
No,
he didn't say that. He just said there's.
He has trust issues.
Yeah, he has trust issues.
But okay, so in that example, then he needs to figure out like what is going on within himself to see why he has issues being able to trust. It don't have nothing to do with the other person. It has something to do with what's going on with that person.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time that we all three agree.
I was just gonna say that.
And I'm just kidding.
You could be like super paranoid, and then you're that way with other people, and then you could turn somebody off by being that way. It's just something that's just off about that person. Like, and in most cases they try to project it onto other people. Like I don't trust you because it's just you. Like you're not the right. In the right frame of mind.
All right. So, Honey Bunny that sent this out to us, I want to thank you first of all for even sharing that with us. But as we all three of us, kind of agreed, is that maybe you probably need to just check yourself a little bit. I don't know the conversations or the friendship that you guys have had, but if you even going to where you want to become exclusive with this person, or they want to become exclusive with you, but you have trust issues. Just think about what it is that you're doing or you allowing someone else to do to kind of take over what's going on with you right now, like in the past relationships. And just remember that every relationship is different, just point blank, period. Look within yourself and see what's going on with you, and if you are trustworthy. And that's the thing, is you got to think about, am I trustworthy to even allow myself to be with someone else? And that can be a lot of it.
Let me tell you, like, based on the trusting, like, do you think that you should trust people from the beginning, or you should not trust people from the beginning?
Oh my God, that, and when I say this, I'm gonna be very honest, because in the beginning, I did trust people from the beginning of a relationship, whether it be a friend relationship or a lover relationship or whatever. And once you lose my trust, it's hard to get back.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, going into the adult industry, that kind of changed my whole aspect of everything. So it's like, when coming in, you have to build your trust with me coming in. And I'm just being honest, I was on both ends of the stick. And why is because not only did I not trust them, but I didn't trust the situations that I was in. Can you understand what I'm saying? Like, I didn't trust the situation of me being in the industry and now looked at as a woman, a sex worker, or you know what I'm saying? So for that was me that I had to check myself because I didn't understand. I don't know. I'm not comfortable of what I'm doing. So that kind of changed my aspect on what I feel about other people. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, see, I don't trust people in the beginning because you just have to be on your toes. Because if you do that, then people have a tendency to take advantage of the situation. So I don't. Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the tempting thing. Well, that's actually let me say this before we go to the temptation, guys. If you guys have any topics or anything that you want myself or Alexander Devoe to touch on, please email us at info@chocolateradio.theliveshow.com. And if you guys think you guys know a little bit more, then Mr. Alexander Devoe, the man that knows all.
Send it to Devoe knows what at gmail.com.
Right, there you go, baby.
I'm still waiting on those dick pics though. Like
Really?
dick pic challenge that people were supposed to be doing. So y'all slacking.
Damn, I got a whole lot of them in my DM.
You gotta forward those to me.
Man. Actually, I got this one really great one from I do this sexpanther.com. I love sexpanther.com. Just tell me, how can you make money and be asleep and wake up when you got a great dick pic and get paid to look at this dick pic? Just phenomenal. Well, anyway, that was a shameless. That was so shameless there. Lord. But anyway, it was this guy. I swear that he was probably listening to the show.
No, he did it properly.
Yes, he had it boiled up. He had it. I'm gonna have to. Well, it's on the phone, so I'm gonna have to like kind of show you. But it looks great. Like it looks phenomenal.
See, he stepped up his selfie game. Like,
yes, he did. He stepped up his selfie game.
You know, people are following instructions.
Yes, they are. Very much so. Very much so. And if you guys need any relationship or sex advice or whatever, email me at asknaomi@gmail.com. All right, so I pose a question today, as I always do, and I ask, what are your top 5 temptations? You know, what do you feel that are the 5 top temptations of the world in the world today? Oof. You guys ready for this? Yeah. All right, so I love my Instagram followers. I swear I do, because they are very, very they're very, very real in their answers. You guys ready for this? Mm-hmm. All right, so Darrell Parker World Ass says,
what? World Ass?
World Ass. Oh. World Ass says tits, lips, thighs, and knowing what to do with it all is his temptation.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, though. That sounds like just likes. That don't sound like temptation.
Just likes. He said, them lips. Ooh, I love them lips. And that ass. Ooh, that ass makes me want to touch it.
Yes, that's definitely a temptation.
In them thighs. Like I would love to have my face in between them thighs. Mm-hmm.
You understand? Are they talking about on you? Is that what it is?
Oh, no, he just said period.
Period, yeah.
He just said, I didn't show my thighs. I did show my tits, but I saw my cleavage. Excuse me. I showed my cleavage in that picture.
They've probably seen, every.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So M2 Media Money says sex, power, fame. And the 5th would probably be a repetitive of these 4. Sex, power, fame.
You're trying to be clever.
Mm-hmm. Money, sex, power, fame.
It's definitely money is a big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna skip over him. I'm gonna skip over him too. No, because a lot of people. All right, so Wizzy Wow said money, women, sex, vanity, and porn.
You're tempted by porn.
Yep, and women, money, sexy, and vanity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You believe that?
Oh yeah.
All right. Louis Luggage says.
What do you say?
All 5 are black women named Nyomi. Sorry. All right, so Mike Havoc said, number 1, food. Number 2, sex. Number 3, forbidden fruit.
What is that?
Yeah,
You don't know.
that could be anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you
Forbidden
know.
fruit.
Yeah. Metaphorically speaking, the thrill of doing or getting away with something in money.
That's the
A
kind
lot
of
of people
broad.
have, a lot of people have money
Yeah.
because yeah, they think that's it.
Yeah. I mean, when I look down here, probably 90% of the people that post it
It's money.
is money. Money is in there. Money and sex.
Definitely.
Power is right there behind it, 3. Godmommy 87 said money, sex, power, greed, and cheating. Cheating.
Which is a part of deception. Cheating.
Paper Chase 44-2 said anal.
Oh yeah, that's because he's
Now,
been
is that a dude?
denied
Is that a
so
dude
many
or-
I
times.
don't know.
He's been denied it so many times.
He's been denied it so many
He
times.
just craves it more and more. So I'm sure he's gotten it from a few, open-minded ladies. And so that's that. A lot of men want that because so many women have told them no. They just want to go. They want to go to the deep, dark, pink, other pink hole.
What's the appeal with that though? A dude that just want to fuck a woman. Like what is
Well, a lot of people enjoy anal sex.
No, I
Now
mean,
it's
for
only
somebody who's getting
for
penetrated,
me.
yeah.
It's only weird if that's the only thing the man
They
wants to
want,
do.
yeah.
Because there are men like that. They just no, I don't want the pussy. I just want your ass. No. That's weird. There's something weird about that.
See, I guess I'm kind of I won't say weird when it comes to stuff like that. Like I don't want to do it unless somebody enjoys
Wants it.
doing it.
Yeah, no, that
So
makes sense.
I would never be like, oh, let me fuck you in the ass unless somebody was like, I want to get fucked in the ass.
Right. So let me ask you,
right.
what has been your experience with having anal sex for you? Like, I
Doing
mean,
it to someone?
right, your very first time of you doing anal sex, was it something that
I
you?
haven't done it. Like I haven't done it with a lot of people. I can count on one hand how many people I've had anal sex with, and that's because they really wanted me to do it to them. It's not like I would be like, oh, I want to fuck you in the ass. It's like because they wanted me to do anal sex with them. So that experience was great for them because they wanted me to do it.
Right, but how did you feel doing it? Did you feel, any type of way, any homophobic way where you mentally it came? Right. So what was your feeling when you were penetrating this woman anal asshole?
What did I feel like?
Yeah, what was your
You're
feeling?
enjoying it, like in your mind.
No, because I don't. It's like with me, like I may or may not get something out of it, but I get something out of the fact that somebody else is enjoying doing something that they really are into.
Right, but we're asking, did you enjoy having anal sex?
No, just the act of doing
the feeling of anal sex.
All right, so
it's not really like a.
You don't feel anything when your penis going to that tight little hole here.
It's more of like
you don't feel that.
It's more of like a mental. It's more like a mental thing, and what's happening to somebody else who's being penetrated anally like that. But because it's not like it doesn't. It's not like. I guess you would have to be a gay person to kind of explain it, because because I don't really like, oh, I'm about to fuck you in the ass or whatever. Like I don't really get that type of sensation the same as I would be penetrating a vagina.
Why is that? Is that because do you? And I'm being honest when I ask this question. Are because you put that in the same category as or the same feeling as if you do anal sex? Is that is a homophobic or a gay act?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm saying that the act of doing that with a person who is into it is what turns me on. It's not the penetration.
It's not the feeling.
It's not the penetrating somebody's anal cavity. It's the fact that they are into that and is doing something to them because they want to be penetrated by them.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you have a real dick. We don't have a real dick. We have a strap on. Now for you, the feeling of the penis going into the anus versus the penis going into the vagina, and be very honest, how did your dick feel going into that? What's the difference for you?
it feels like you're penetrating an anal cavity. It's not a pussy, so it's different. Like for number one, like you, your ass is not going to self lubricate, so you need to put some type of lubricant inside there. That doesn't mean that once they have orgasm, they're not going to ejaculate fluid. That happens, but the sensation is totally different. So for me, it's not the same as penetrating a vagina. Is totally different, and like I'm saying, like maybe 85% of that is the mental aspect of it because of what's happening to somebody who's being penetrated anally, because their response it's a different type of it's a different type of experience, it's a different type of orgasm. So they're responding, their whole body is just filled with goosebumps, like they're shuddering. Like it's just a little different. So you get caught up in the difference in sensation by watching somebody react totally different than being penetrated vaginally because of the fact that they're having orgasms anally.
Right. I would love to do a round table with this from women that do have anal sex and men that have anal sex with women. I would like to really know, what everybody thinks. Because even though anal sex is a big fetish when it comes to the porn industry, that's something like one of the biggest selling, things out there. And I remember even me before I even get into porn, I remember my ex-husband used to say, can we do, anal sex? And I was like, hell no, because I instantly connected that with being gay. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, a lot of women do that, and I don't really understand why they make the connection between. It's like
because that's something that's been taught to them.
Yeah, but it's a woman.
Fear also.
It's a woman.
It's
just like a dude saying if a woman penetrates you in the ass, then okay, that's gay. No, it's not. It's a woman penetrating you, so how can that be gay? That's not gay.
Right. The other half of that is there are a lot of men that are just undercover or bisexual. They're not admitting that they're bisexual. They're saying they're straight when they're not straight. And so that anal sex sometimes, all the time, sometimes it just brings up those red flags for a lot of women.
Yeah, but if you're a gay guy and you want a dude to fuck your ass.
Well, yeah, if you're gay, but I'm talking
a woman to fuck your ass. So it's like it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
Some men do. The bisexual ones definitely do. They like men and women to fuck them in the ass.
I don't believe in bisexuality.
Oh, that's
cool
fine.
For women,
that's
but
fine.
I personally I don't believe.
And I understand
You
that.
just don't think that men could be sexually just turned on by both men and women and cannot be sexually pleased by both men and women? No.
They definitely can be pleased by men and women.
You either just asexual. I mean, like not asexual. You just don't have a label. You're just a sexual person. But once you have a preference, once you start attaching a preference to that, then you can only be. I believe you can only be either or, because you're gonna enjoy one more than the other.
But that's only for men. That's not for
it's
women.
like, okay, the dude says I'm straight, but he's really gay, but he's sneaking out like to go hook up with dudes. So if you find yourself doing stuff like that, then you're really not bisexual. You're gay.
Yeah, if you have to sneak around.
So with bisexual, you need to be true about your sexuality in that you are attracted to both men and women. I'm just trying to get in.
I find a lot of straight dudes. I find a lot of straight guys who say they straight. But be trying to like, saying when you in the car with them, they be trying to touch on you or what you come up to like, dude, no, like you a straight motherfucker. Like we
So if a man touches your arm or any sort of way, then they're gay.
No, it's just a vibe that men get from other men. No, because you can't tell.
If a motherfucker like slides his hand over to yours, like
that's different.
But that's what he's talking about. They do that.
Hey, boy, what's going on, boy?
No, so are you a straight motherfucker? Like you hanging out at a gay party and somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, I heard you were straight."
Right.
Motherfucker, you know I'm straight, motherfucker. Like, when you come up to try to see what's going on with me for.
Wow.
I don't discriminate against people because that's whatever persuasion they are. Like I've been, I had a friend. I'm going to tell you a story. I used to go to Vegas all the time. Like I had a friend, he's a gay guy, cool. And then every time I go to his house, like he'd be, Devoe, come into the bathroom. I'm gonna run a bubble bath, like put on these white socks, and let's do a photo shoot. I'm just like,
wow, the white
like,
socks though.
White socks. I'm like, yo, dude, like, you know, I'm not, you know, so I'll be like,
Where is that?
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not putting on no white socks. I'm not getting no bubble bath. I'm not doing no photo shoot. You know me, motherfucker. Like, I'm not doing that.
Wow.
Wait, I wish I could show that. Could you please do that again? Wait a minute.
See,
so he kind of like,
with me, that's what I would do. You know, like I'll be like, oh, what happened to your feet? I'll be like, you know, this is me. Like, how long have you known me? Like,
right.
Because he was trying, like, you know, different kind of stuff to get me to come over and be in the environment. So he had this Brazilian porno. He's like, oh, you know, Devoe, come over and watch some Brazilian porno. I'm like, dude, like, me and you are not going to be in your place when you pop me in some Brazilian porno, me and you watching Brazilian porno.
Wow.
Because it's not going to happen.
Wow.
Like, you know, I'm not going to get a hard on so you can say, let me take care of that.
Ooh.
It ain't going to happen. Like, this is me.
Let me take care of it.
No, that just ain't going to happen.
Right.
And that, you know, that's a form of temptation, right? I guess because, you know, a lot of dudes would be in that situation, and then find themselves, you know, up against the wall, like, okay, I'm being tempted. You know, what do I do? It's just me and this person in this room, so they might be tempted to decide, okay, well, hey, you know, I've never done it, I can try it. That don't mean that, you know, I'm swinging a certain way. It's just a temptation.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break.
Lord.
And then we're going to come back. But before we go to break, I want to just say to you guys, all the songs that you listen to are very talented independent artists. And if you guys want your music played on Chocolate Radio, the live show, and radio, email us at info@chocolateradiotheliveshow.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to close it out. I want to try this little game called Strip Taboo. Let's see how this works. This is your girl, Nyomi Banxxx, here on Chocolate Radio, the live show, here on RIP Radio Network.
Take it off of me, yeah.
that was our boy Esquire would take it out. And also right before we had our girl La 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 Friday with bedtime. I mean not with bedtime, with deep stroke. Deep stroke. Deep stroke? Yes, deep stroke. Yes, deep stroke. All right, guys, this is your girl Nyomi Banxxx here on Chocolate Radio, the live show. Here on ChocolateRadioLiveShow.com and RIP Radio Network. I'm here with my boy that knows all my co-hosts. Alexander Devoe is in the house.
What's up?
As well as the sexy Miss Tish Marie. What's going on, baby?
I'm here. What's up?
All right. Yeah, chocolate bar. Can't had you over there, tell me you got a sweet tooth.
Percolating.
Yeah.
Percolating.
Is that right? All right, so I want to just stay with me right here on this one right here. Usually we play Truth or Dare. Remember our Truth or Dare, whatever.
Yes.
But evidently, I think from us moving from one station over to here to this studio, I cannot find my Truth or Dare cards. Not at all, and I was hoping.
You lost the cards. Wow.
I lost the cards. Yes, I lost the cards. So what I want to do, I want to try something a little fun. I wanted to play Strip Taboo.
Are you trying to get me up on this table?
Yes. We already established that, darling.
Right. So we're gonna do it like this. I don't know if you guys ever play the game Taboo. The thing is that you have a certain word and that you cannot.
Strip taboo?
Yeah, strip taboo. So every time I get something right, I tell you to take something off. Rather take something off or put something, Wow, you don't want to show us your man boobs.
I'm shy. Like I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to tell. So we're gonna flip it like this. So anytime that you say a word on mine that's not supposed to be said, then you have to take it off.
The word that's not supposed to be
Okay, so
said.
the ladies are gonna play this.
Right. So okay, let's do. All right. Oh shit! Hold on. Okay. Okay, well, I just picked the wrong one, right?
You got two.
I got a word.
Huh?
I mean, I have a word. So this word, I'm gonna just try to describe to you as much as I can.
First, you gotta explain how you play this.
I'm going to. You gotta listen.
Yeah.
Your ears are open.
Yes.
You gotta listen.
Yeah.
You gotta listen. So I'm gonna try to explain to you. I'm gonna do her first. So I'm gonna show you the card.
Show me the
I'm
card.
gonna show you the card so you can be the judge on this one.
Okay.
So you know how to play.
do.
All right. So I have to describe to her what this word is, this top word is, and I can't say any of these words.
Do you have the card the right way, or you got?
Yes, I have the
right
card
way.
the right way. I have the card. I have the card the right way. I need you to be open to this. Okay.
I think I played this before.
Right. All right. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this. And if you don't get it, so the thing is that we need a stopwatch. So we're going to do 30 seconds. We're not going to do the whole,
You
yeah.
got the stuff, or you want me to time?
Yeah, I want you to time it in your head.
No, I'm gonna go. I gotta stop.
Yeah, I want you to do it in your
30
head.
seconds.
And if she doesn't get this, word, or even if I say one of the words on there, I have to take something off. You understand what I'm
So
saying?
basically, like,
No, I
you just
know how
like
to
that.
play.
Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, but if you don't have to, right? Exactly. All right, guys, if you guys just tuning in right here to Chocolate Radio, the live show.com, we're doing something fun right now. We have our guest here, Miss Tish Marie. So, yes, I am trying to get her naked before she leaves from the thing. We only got a few minutes, so I thought this would be very, very fun to end our Temptation Tuesday show. And see if she can truly be tempting, with it. So, we're playing what we're going to call our strip taboo.
Okay.
Right?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So let me show Devoe the word. Yeah, and these are the words that I cannot say.
Okay.
That I can't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go.
Are you ready?
Wait, I gotta see the words.
No, you don't.
No, the words that I'm not supposed to say.
You ain't
No,
supposed to see
you
the
ain't
words.
you can't see that.
Oh.
You just gotta
No,
get
you
it.
got-
Oh, those are words that you okay? Because
I
it's flipped
can't
around.
say.
It's flipped
Right.
around.
I
Okay, I
can't
got
say.
it. I got it.
All right, ready?
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. It's supposed to be somebody. Yeah, I remember how to play that.
Yeah.
All right. So you ready?
Mhm, I'm ready.
All right.
Fast. Okay, go.
Ready?
Mhm.
All right. It's the building. All right. It has jewelry. Crackheads usually go. They exchange money.
The drug house. The
No.
drug house?
They steal their mother's jewelry and exchange it for money.
Time.
Oh,
It was pawn.
See, I'm supposed to be watching you so you don't say the word.
Okay.
Well, she has to say pawn.
I know.
But I couldn't say any of these words.
Right.
And the words were chess, plane, peace, token, and broker. So.
But those are really bad. Those just more crackheads go there.
They do.
Girl, so you gotta take something off.
Right. Yeah, you do. You have to take something off. You have to take the sweater off. That's a beautiful sweater.
Really bad ways to describe those.
Right, I did.
That was terrible, Naomi, but whatever.
Something for you to do, clothes take off. What are you taking all that off?
Right, we only got like 5 minutes.
Get this sweater going.
Take it off. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out.
Okay.
Take it out.
So here's my sweater.
Okay. All right. So you're next.
Why don't we double up? You get double up. So she gets two items of clothes that come on.
No, you take your drawers off and make a woman happy.
I don't wear underwear, so.
Yeah, wear underwear.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. All right. Oh wow. Okay, you ready?
What?
This for you.
I already saw the word.
No, you didn't.
Why you got two? Why you got two? Oh, it's got two sides.
There's two sides to everywhere.
All right, let's go.
All right, you ready? You got the timing?
You got a big.
That's way too easy.
Yes, timing? All right, guys, you guys just tuning in. We're having a little fun at the end of this show right now. We're playing Strip Taboo. We got Miss Tish Marie. We had to take off our sweater, so now we are going to the Mr. Alexander Devoe. Oh my God, this is gonna be really, really good. All right. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
Funny. Comedy show. Joke comedian.
Okay, yeah.
Comedy show. Sitcom.
Up straight.
Stand up comedy.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta take something off. Take your clothes off. Take your clothes off.
I'm gonna take my sweater off.
You got too many layers on over
That's
there.
all right because I was
Cheap
prepared. All right, so guys, if you guys are tuning in, the thing is that he did get the answer, so I had to take off a piece of my clothing right here.
I'm supposed to be.
So we just picked a random
Right, she next.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, she next.
So I can ask you.
Mm-hmm.
No, but do you don't?
No, it's her turn. She got it on. Okay.
Oh.
Give 30 seconds on it. You didn't even do the thing.
Yes, I did. I did. You got it in 21 seconds.
All right, come on.
Ready?
Come on. All right, so while we waiting for...
I'm a mammal. I have brown fur.
Bear?
Oh, sorry. Brown fur. I carry my babies with me.
Kangaroo.
Take
it off. Take it off. Let's see what you got on.
You get to pick the
I get to pick the item of clothes of what you have on. Can you do me a favor?
This is so annoying.
Can you stand up for the people? Like stand up? Because I might not make you take it off. I might just make you turn around and just, shake a little ass. It's down on my feet. Because really, I would say drop them.
Oh God, not my pants.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be nice.
That's how people be like,
I'm trying to be nice.
Oh, you trying to be nice?
I'm trying to be nice. All right, turn around because this is a thicker than a sticker. No, this is thicker than a sticker.
Let me see.
Why don't you just take the top off?
They just get a little side action. Little side action.
Right, you got a bra? Do you? We can't get kicked off. We normally be kicked off of a network. Right. All right, can you do me a favor? Can you just, pull one strip down, like one strip? Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's nice. We can't get too naked. All right, so this is the last one. All right.
Okay.
All right, Devoe, it's your turn. Who you doing? Me or her?
Let's go with you, because you got less layers on over there. So. We're gonna do you. We'll go with you.
All right, so guys, if you guys just tuning in, this is your girl Nyomi Banxxx on Chocolate Radio, the live show. We're here on RIP Radio Network. We're having a really fun time right now. We are playing Taboo, strip Taboo, Chocolate Radio version here. Right now, if you,
that was too easy. You guys.
I'm winning thus far. I mean, even though I got my sweater off, we have Tish Marie halfway naked, and now it's next to.
You pick his way.
Yeah,
easy for
it's
her.
not easy. No, this is actually not easy at all.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You gonna do the timer here? Like the timer.
Right, come on. Because we only got like a few more minutes. We only got a few more minutes. We only got a few more minutes for it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go. Diabetes.
Sugar. Take it off.
God.
Take it off.
I'm gonna just take
it off. No, I get the pick.
No,
I get the pick. No, I get the pick. You cheating. I want you to take your shirt off.
I'm not taking
Yes, I need to see that. Come on. Like, really take the shirt off.
Stop cheating.
Take the shirt off. I don't want to see. I'm not a foot person. I don't want anything to do with no damn feet. I don't want any of that. I need to see. I need to see the shirt. I need to see the stomach. At least pull your damn shirt up and let me see your stomach. Like, put it up. Put.
Yeah, some people don't play fair.
Right.
Some people don't want to see everybody else.
Right. They don't want to show me. Come on. Yes, the oil. Baby. What do you do?
MikeMike said, cut this shit off.
Alright guys, this is your girl Nyomi Banxxx here on Chocolate Radio, the live show here on RIP Radio Network. I'm here with my boy Alexander Devoe, and I got him right here. Yes, baby, yes. And I got a guest host for tonight, the sexy Miss Tish Marie in the house. What's going on, baby? Whoop, whoop. Alright guys, we're here every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you guys make sure you just check us out on RIP Radio Network in Chocolate Radio, the live show. Yeah, we gotta kind of wriggle it down. You know, Mike, let that nigga put on his clothes real fast. But guys, if you guys have any questions or anything, and you got any show topics or whatever like that, email us at info@chocolateradio.com, as well as follow us on Twitter, Chocolate Radio The Live Show, Choco the Live Show on Twitter. Follow Alexander Devoe. That's Alexander Devoe on both Twitter and Facebook. Tish, give yours.
Instagram. La Femme Tish Marie.
Oh,
on Instagram.
Right.
Black French bitches.
And follow me on Twitter at I am Nyomi Banxxx, and on Instagram, The Real Nyomi Banxxx. And I just opened a Facebook page, Goddess Nyomi.
Ooh.
Yes, Goddess Nyomi.
Must follow.
Oh yes, we're gonna be getting folks naked all day, every day, up in here. Up in here. All right, guys, again, thank you guys for coming through and showing us much love here on Chocolate Radio, the live show.
You're going to be bottom
right.
y'all.
As I always say, always keep it sexy. Oh, before I go, on Friday night, I'm going to be co-hosting with my boy James on Bench Warmers. So make sure you guys tune in. He has a sports show. We talk about sports and everything else. So you guys know I'm a little sports head. You know, I got my little, picks and things that I want to. So make sure you guys tune in for that. As well as we're just traveling everywhere. And he's trying to get me to do this taboo thing. So I think after we cut it off, then we get naked up here.
There's no cutting up. We're gonna continue this.
No.
As we fade out, we're gonna continue.
All right. So keep it sexy. Chocolate Radio Live Show.